In this video, we are going to discuss about like how to send message using JMS producer to the broker. So basically, we use the broker like Apache Artemis. So this is the latest broker of that is over the classic version. Okay. So here today we have like two programs. One is like both are standalone program, like no use of JBoss or any application server. Simply it is just standalone program like simple public static void main, and this JMS producer will send the JMS message to the broker, and the broker from the broker queue we are going to message or consume the message using JMS consumer. Okay, so today we will go with this simple message like this is the text message instead of going to object message or map message like that. So this is the agenda, and if you go to this another let me show you. Yeah, so if you check this bit, I mean figure, you can see so the producer will how to create the message. We will discuss this part later. So first thing is that we'll set up our environment. So you can see I mean in this video we are going to cover this part. So already in the last video we covered how to install this latest version of that is the Artemis 2.42. Okay, so yeah, so if you go to this the Jakarta, because the Java X is already renamed to Jakarta after the acquisition by the Eclipse, I think. So we are going to support this Jakarta messaging like 3.1 or the JMS 2.0, the previous one. So if you go to this section, you can see the ActiveMQ client this year is supporting that is the if you follow this 6.0 version, then definitely it will support this APIs like Jakarta JMS instead of like the previous one like Java X.jms. So I already installed this fact, so let me access to this console. If you did not cover that video, you can cover, I mean go through that video. So I already started my Artemis broker, that is the broker one, and I installed it as a service in a window environment, and I started this service. Okay, so I exposed this port, management port like 61617 instead of 61616 because I am using the older classic version, also parallel the Artemis version. So to avoid the port conflict, I use this 61617. You can follow the previous video. Okay, so let me open this Eclipse, and here let me create one producer which is producing the message. Before that, let me show you quickly this JMS console. So since I exposed the admin console port on 618162, so you can access this using localhost 8162. So now it will ask for the login. So I provided the login as admin and the password itself admin. And here you can show you all the detailed information about the broker. You can see the broker version is like Artemis version is like 2.42.0, and if you come to queue section, I've been created one test queue. You can see there is no message available right now. So using the program I am going to send some message. So I have two programs are there. One is JMS producer, another is JMS consumer. You can see client program, and here if you double click this file, here I already created some of the sample how to send the message using your Jakarta JMS instead of the previous one like Java X. Okay, so this one I think version like 3.1 or something. And yeah, so let me show you the POM file. This is simple maven project. In the POM file you can see I am using the Jakarta Jakarta Enterprise Edition, that is 10.0.0. Okay, so this version. And one more thing is that earlier I have I mean using this ActiveMQ client of this Jakarta, so that's why I used this previous dependency. Otherwise you can remove this one. So just now I have added this, the latest version of this Jakarta client for the Artemis. You can check here the maven repository, that is the ActiveMQ Artemis JMS client. If you go to the below section, you can see the latest version is like 2.42.x. You can click there and copy all the the dependency section. You can see it is ActiveMQ, and the jar file name is like this one, Artemis Jakarta client, and the version is like 2.42 something. Okay, so let me copy this one, and I think I already copied this one. You can see I already copied this section, this dependency section. Okay, so once you save this file, then automatically the maven will build this one and add all the dependency. And if you go to this section, JMS producer, I have created one file. You can see I imported all the Jakarta specific images, packages. And one more important thing is that this one, if you are using ActiveMQ Classic, so that time you need to import this one, that is the older one, ActiveMQ connection factory. Okay, so we'll cover that part, like how to create connection when you're producing the message, either producing the message or consume the message from the broker. So that time you should like follow this pattern. Like first thing is that we should create a connection factory which is pointing to your broker. So here we are using the broker like ActiveMQ Artemis instead of ActiveMQ Classic, but the procedure remains same, but only the class name is only changed. We'll cover that part. So once you created the connection factory, then you should create the connection from that connection factory. Then on the top of that connection, you should create one session, and from the session, either you can create message producer, otherwise you can create the consumer. Okay, so if you create the message producer, they can produce the JMS message to the broker, and from the broker itself you can consume the message using the message consumer. But first thing is you can create the the session. Okay, from the session either you can create producer or consumer based on your application. Okay, so we'll cover this first part. Let me create one producer. You can see the producer file, and the important thing is that this one is specific to this connection factory, is specific to your Artemis, not the ActiveMQ. Okay, so let me click this one. Yeah, this will automatically imported in the maven. Okay, so you can point this point, this one artemis.jms, and I have created one connection factory using that URL. Okay, so you can see here I use this class ActiveMQ like JMS connection factory, which is for Artemis, and here I passed the like your broker information, and my broker is installed using this port number. Okay, since my previous one is using 61616, and that's why I changed the port number. You can follow my previous video how to change this port number. Okay, so once I get the connection factory, then I create the connection and session. Connection factory dot create connection, then connect, you get the connection object. From the connection object you can create the session. Like the first one is, it's I think it's what is that, we'll cover I think in the last video. Yeah, so you can check that last video. And this is session, this is the default one. Then you can go with the destination. Here the destination is two type of destination you can create. Here we created the destination. You can see either you have like a destination like queue or topic. So you can see if you create the topic destination, you should select like multicast. Otherwise for the queue you can use the any cast. Okay, so I already created one queue like test queue1. So that's why I put this queue name, and it's stored in the destination object, but it is a pointing to create queue. Okay, so that after that once the destination is created, then we are going to send some message using message producer. So I created message producer instance from this session, and session dot create producer, and you can pass the destination, that is the test q1. Okay, so then we are going to send some simple message, that is the test message, simple message, that is the test message, and session dot create test message, some string message I passed like JMS message 3 or something. And if you want want to add some of the attributes like message header, then you can use the message dot set string property or integer property like that. So I set like one string property like name equal to some value like value 3. We expect that message content, and this header should be consumed from the message consumer. Okay, so we'll test this one, then some SOPL message, then close all the session and connection. Okay, this is simple JMS producer program. And let me produce some message which should be stored in this broker. Okay, 61617. Okay, so let me refresh this page and come to queue section, test queue. Let me see like any message is there or not. No messages are showing. So let me produce one message having test message 3, and the message header is like name equal to value something value 3. Okay, so let me click on that file, run as simple Java application. Yes, so this message is sent, like the message content is like JMS message 3. So if you refresh this page, then automatically in the queue section one message should be showing here. Okay, I refresh this page, come to queues and click on the test queue. You can see one message is showing having message ID something 117. Okay, if you click on that one, then it will show you the message body. The message body we put like JMS test message 3. Okay, so if you come down to message attribute, that is the header, you can see one header is there, that is the properties name equal to some value, that is value 3. Okay, so we are going, whatever thing we passed here, the same thing is going to the the broker. Okay, so let me discuss about this consumer section. We are going to, whatever the message is stored in this queue, we are going to consume that message. If you, yeah, so if you click at here, one message is still there. Okay, so let me come to this figure. Okay, so we are covered this part, like we are successfully sending one message to the destination. Okay, using the session. Okay, so from that, so since it is going sending the message to the destination, destination means that is the queue which is reside inside this Artemis broker. Okay, this is the destination. So from this destination we are going to consume this message using another Java program, that is the JMS client, sorry, JMS consumer. Okay, so the consumer the procedure remains same, like as we discussed in the figure. First we can get the session, from the session you can create the consumer. The procedure remains same: connection factory, connection, session and consumer. Okay, so similarly we created this JMS connection factory from the Artemis this class, and this one is pointing to yours again 61617, that is the broker 1. And from there we created one session, and from there we are going to create one consumer instead of create producer. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, session dot create consumer, and consumer is pointing to your destination, the same destination, that is the test q1. And we create one listener which is listening to that destination, and it will check and it will override the message like on message method from this interface. And you can see this is the parent level message, like message. We need to typecast this message to like test message or object message or map message, but in this case we send the text message, so we expect the text message should be consumed. Okay, so here I fetched some of the details of that message, like message dot get JMS ID. we'll see the difference, like what is the difference between this JMS message ID and the broker message ID. Okay, you can see here this broker message ID is something like see like 117. Okay, we'll see the difference, like why there is some difference between this message ID from the broker side, and from the consumer side you can see the difference, like JMS message ID. Okay, so we'll discuss this fact. Let me cover this one. Then I fetch the test message, like I typecast to test message, then get text, and whatever the property that the message header you passed there during the message producer, so that thing you can get using with this command, like get string property name. So as we said, this one set string property name, the same name should be fetched there, so that this value should be retrieved. Okay, from that message. So let me consume that message. So the message is still there, so let me run this consumer program. If I run this consumer program, that is the Java application. Yeah, so now we can see, yeah, so now we can see your JMS message ID is showing like something different. Okay, there the message ID like 117 is there. You can see the message ID is 117, but here you can see the message ID, some of the unique number is provided. Okay, and whatever message we passed there, the JMS message 3 is coming, and the message attribute like header is like value 3 is also coming. But we will discuss this part, why this different, like this message ID is different in the consumer, and the message ID is like showing 117 there in the broker side. Okay, so actually this message ID, as per the documentation, if you go to this documentation, this message ID internally used by this ActiveMQ broker for the internal communication between different system or something. Okay, but this is not actually used for the JMS message ID. Okay, this is only internally used for the ActiveMQ broker only. Okay, but it is not visible to this consumer. Okay, you can see one difference here. Whatever I mean the user ID is there, like ended with some 004 or something, you can see, I think the same message is coming. Yeah, you can see the same ID is coming. Okay, so basically this one is generated by your broker for every message for the client, that is the JMS consumer. Okay, so this message ID is the unique one, so don't follow this I mean the broker specific message ID. This is for internal purpose. Okay, but this one is the JMS message ID. Okay, so that's why you are getting some of this get message ID having the JMS message ID, not the broker message ID. Okay, so this is all about, I think we can show you like whether the message is cleared or not. Let me refresh this page, come to queue section and click on the test Q1. Now you can see the messages cleared. Okay, let me show you like one more message, like sending one more message. Come to producer, let me send message 4, and the value is like 4, and save this file, and let me run this one, run Java application. So now the test message 4 is sent to this queue. Let me refresh this one. If you come to queues, test queues, now you can see one message is there. You can come to detail section, like JMS message 4 is there. So let me run this consumer section. If you want to send another message also, still the message is not consumed. Okay, so let me save this file and run this file again, Java application. one more message sent, you can expect those messages should be in the queue. If you click on the queue, there is two messages are there. Okay, one is like message 5, and so we are going to consume this two messages. Okay, so let me run this program, consumer program. This is my consumer program, so we are going to consume this message. Let me run this file to run as Java application. Yeah, so now you can see both the message is consumed at a time. Okay, so you can see JMS message 5 is coming. So before that, let me show you. Yeah, so JMS message 4 also coming. They are having the message ID is different. This is the JMS message ID. Okay, having like 2 or 14 or something. Okay, so in this way you can set up your broker, and you can use simple Java application which is sending the message, I mean JMS message to the broker, and from the broker you can consume the message using JMS consumer. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys.